or high yield should have the following characters: resistance for biotic and abiotic factors, resistance to disease and pests, desirable agronomic characters like tallness is desirable for fodder crops and darkness is desirable for cereals.
Correct. When we talk about agronomics, what is agronomic, Arnav? Right. So agri and nomics, right? Agriculture, agronomics would be plants which are being grown for the cause of money. You either want to sell the seeds or you want to, anything related to money when it comes to growing the crops. That is agronomics. Okay. Pre-harvest and post-harvest, because I got disconnected. Yeah, Bhumika. So basically what I had discussed is that, pre-harvest, all the care that you could take care. Uh, Post-harvest is basically the storage part. How you store the seeds, how you store the grains. But when we talk about crops, it is basically pre-harvest. As in, there would be certain weeds which you need to take care of and clear them off. There would be certain pests, insects and all, which you need to keep a regular check on. There could be rodents, there could be certain microbes, fungal infestation and all. And there could be natural calamities. For example, there could be very heavy rain, there could be flood, there could be drought. You really can't do much about it, but then again, in whichever aspect you can try and protect your plants. This is what we had discussed. And post harvest also, we discussed about pests, as in how will you store the seeds, how will you store the grains. They have to be in very good granaries, which could be made out of either metal or could be, made out of mortar and bricks. They have to be completely airtight. There has to be no, seepage of water from anywhere. Correct? No oxygen also, because the moment there's free flowing air, along with it will come a lot of microbes. So all these things needs to be taken care of. Okay. So agronomic, as I said, is the kind of agriculture that you do for earning money. Okay. This step is depends on a crop variety that can give a good yield. So what is hybridization basically? Sahas, do you know what is hybridization? By now, I expect all of you to know what is hybridization.
Ma'am, can I answer?
Okay, Srishti?
Yes, so basically hybridization is basically a way of converting all the the features we like in a certain plant and making narrowing it down in such a way that we get only those favored features. For example, the branchness in the wheat and stuff and all, and fodder crops, so that like they grow better and basically are more resistant to that. It's basically get all the way things we like in the crop and make it into one concise form.
Very good, excellent. Beautifully explained. Good. So it's basically, all the desirable factors, all the desirable things that we need or like about a crop or about a fruit or about the end product. So we get all of them at one place. It's not possible to have all of good characters or all of the desirable changes in one crop, but at least the maximum the better. Right? For example, all of you must be having grapes. But how many of you have grapes with seeds? Basically, initially what happened is that, grapes always had seeds. That was like a must thing, right? But somewhere in the world, by mistake, maybe, there were certain grapes which looked long and slender, right? Sorry, which did not have a very good look, which had a rugged look, but it did not have any seeds, that was like completely seedless. Whereas this grape was extremely well-rounded, very juicy, big in size. The only bad thing was that it had seeds in it, right? So my desirable need from this grape was its juiciness. My new grape, the one that I would want to have, should be juicy. It should have a nice green color, and it should be round in shape. And the characters that I took from this grape was one thing, that is it should be seedless, right? So both of them, both these grapes were kind of selected, and they were, kind of the seeds were, the pollens were cross-pollinated. So what happened is that in return they got a well-rounded big size grapes but with no seeds. This was a desired one. So this is known as a hybrid grape. This is known as a hybrid grape. So whenever you go to a vegetable shop or a fruit seller, whenever you see, the tomatoes are like so red and so shiny and so healthy looking. So the shopkeeper would say these are all hybrid tomatoes. Right? They have been kind of years back, the seeds were all made in the lab, and post which, they kept selling those seeds, and now most of the agriculturists, they grow those kind of tomatoes, which are not only juicy but much appealing as well, because it looks reddish, shiny, they look healthy, and they're like big in size, vis-a-vis the small tomato, though they were like natural variety, but they had a, crooked look. They didn't have a green color. They had somewhat green, somewhat red, somewhat orange. Nobody took them, so they went for a better one. The other name for hybrid could also be GM grapes or GM fruits or GM vegetables. What is the full form of GM here? Who can tell me what is the full form of GM here? GM stands for genetically modified, right? So GM would stand for genetically modified fruits and vegetables, grains, pulses, millets, you name it nowadays, flowers, everything is genetically modified. Everything as per our choice. Now even you have black rose. Do you think this was naturally made?
No,
This
ma'am.
yes, no, this was not naturally made. So what they did was basically, they took a darkest shade of red rose, and they took maybe a little brownish looking rose, or, they kind of cross-pollinated them. It took them years and years of research and trial and error. But that is how, they kind of made a hybrid black rose, which is very rare. Okay. So similarly, there are certain grains, certain crops which are highly, they have high propensity of getting fungal infection. Whereas on the other hand, there are certain, the same paddy, which is very robust, which is very, whatever kind of weather, temperature be it, but it doesn't have any fungal infection. But it's just that, it's not a very ideal or a good looking rice. It's brownish in color. So those are the times when they take two desirable characteristics from two different seeds, they cross-pollinate, they kind of make a hybrid out of it, and then they have a rice which is robust, which looks white in color, and which is resistant to fungal infection. Right? So that is the entire concept of hybridization. Right? So for crops for high yield, they should have the following characters. They should have the resistance for biotic and abiotic factors. So Arnav, what is biotic and what is abiotic?
Ma'am, biotic refers to the natural factors that
Mhm.
occur naturally,
Correct.
and abiotic factors are not natural.
Correct. So basically, biotic factors would be living organisms. For example, it should have resistance. The crops should have resistance from the fungus, from the, what do you say, from the insects, right? From certain weeds. So it has to have robust enough to have resistance from these. And what are abiotic factors? Abiotic factors is like, lot of gust of wind coming in, so the plants, if it's like they're really weak, they'll just go in one direction. Little bit of rain and they'll just all touch the floor, touch the soil. So these are not robust crops. Right, so robust crops are crops which are resistant to both biotic as well as abiotic factors. Now, resistance to disease and pests, right? So this is what I was saying, they should have resistance to certain diseases also. For example, as I said, there are certain crops which are vulnerable to some, fungal infection. So might as well have a resistant variety, So the farmer also does not have to shell out money for just spraying pesticide and weedicide and fungicide and all kinds of chemicals just to get rid of the weeds and pests. Desirable agronomic characters like tallness is desirable for fodder crops and darkness is desirable for cereals. See, for example, if there are fodder crops, if you're growing fodder crops, if they are of this size, vis-a-vis if the fodder crops are of this size, which is more beneficial? When I say fodder crops, I hope you know what is the meaning of fodder, right? Fodder is basically, on what the cattle feed upon. Correct? So,
Yes.
taller the fodder, better the yield, no? There would be many more leaves and much more to eat for the cattle then. So, I would rather choose a seed or a crop which will grow tall plants, not a short plant. Right? When it comes to cereals like maize and all, I would like to have a dark color to it, not a dull color. Because a darkish tinge or a rich color will always give a healthy and a richer look. And the chances of buying those, products, the fruits are much more higher. We always get attracted to good looking, healthy, fresh fruits and vegetables, right?